Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devim Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadim Gaur Bhaktavrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnupad Puraman Suparibraj Kacharja Sto Turasat Shri Shrimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Raj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharja Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Sham Kun Radha Kunikiti Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Tham Ki Jai Navadip Tham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamana Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Gaur Premanande.
Hare Hare Bol. Thank you very much, Maharaj. And thank you and welcome to all the devotees who are attending on the Zoom channel this evening. It's a lovely Friday evening, and we are very happy that we have quite a few participants here and also live watching on the YouTube. So His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj, if you're not aware, has been giving the Bhagavatam lectures on this channel for a couple of months now, broadcasting live from ISKCON of New Jersey in Towaco. And we have started the second canto earlier this week. And so Maharaj will be continuing on the first chapter of the second canto. And the verse today is verse number 3. We have put the verse in the chat if you'd like to follow along. Thank you. If you have any questions, at the question time, you may raise your hand, or you can type your question, or you can unmute yourself when it's the question and answer time for your comments or questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Shaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve. Gauravani Pracharane. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatade Shatangave. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo. Obeisances to Purushartha Prabhu and my respects to all. At the top in the chat box, I've typed in www.mantrabreak.com. That's something that I've worked with the devotees at Radha Govinda Mandir on. It's a very simple site. It has only one purpose: to broadcast 24 hours a day, very calm, mellow Hare Krishna Kirtan, so that people who are in anxiety or stress from COVID-19 or anything else at any time of day can just tune in and listen to the Mahamantra. There's not much propaganda there. It just says, listen to the mantra and that'll be nice. So it's a good place to direct people, whether devotees or non-devotees. Just press the on button and there you are. Okay. That little bit of news. We've What is the info? Gurudas, what do you mean, what is the info?
Maharaj, you just said it was posted and I don't see it in the chat.
It's at the very top, www.mantrabreak.com. It's above the verse.
Oh, okay, I can't see beyond that.
Okay. So, yesterday, as we've begun this canto, the sage Sukadev has congratulated Maharaj Parikshit. Radhyane Shate Prashna, Hitam Loka Hitam Nirpa, Atmavid Samata Pumsa, Shrotavyadishu Yapadaha. Your question is glorious. This is the right subject matter for hearing, and it's accepted by self-realized persons. Then we heard last time that Shrotavyadini Rajendra Nanam Sankti Sahasrasaha Apashyatam Atmatattvam Griheshu Grihamedinam. For those who are blind to Atmatattva, the truth of the self, there are so many useless topics for hearing. Griheshu Grihamedinam. For those who are too attached to sex life and material enjoyment at home, there's innumerable useless topics. The Parikshit Maharaj had asked at the end of the first canto, if one is on the verge of death, or anyone actually, but especially a person on the verge of death, what should he hear about? What should he chant about? What should he remember? And he'd also asked, what should one not hear about? What should one not chant about? What should one not remember or do? So this, in part, answers that question. Gramya Varta na shunibhya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, he told Raghunath Das Goswami, don't hear Gramya Katha. Gramya Katha na shunibhya. Don't hear ordinary, useless, mundane topics. So two things are there, what we should hear about, what we should not hear about. The question came up in our last session. Don't we need to read the newspapers to know what's going on? Shouldn't we keep at least somewhat informed about ordinary affairs? And I argued that no, we don't really need to. Perhaps a very minimal involvement, but not that we regularly need to read the newspaper to keep up on world events or national or even local events. The news will get to us. We don't need to waste our time. I wanted to add to that one statement from Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of our great nation. The man who never looks into a newspaper is better informed than he who reads them, inasmuch as he who knows nothing is nearer the truth than he whose mind is filled with falsehoods and errors. If you've ever read a newspaper article about something that you've been involved in, you might have noticed how different what actually happened might be from what the newspaper reported. The New York Times reported that Srila Prabhupada stowed away on the Jaladuta. And there's so many errors and mistakes. So the newspapers are not our best source of engagement. Our real love and real source of engagement is Srimad Bhagavatam, where we get the most essential news. You could read the newspapers all your life and not know who you are, not know what the purpose of your life is, not understand the way the world works, certainly not understand who Krishna is, in spite of reading the New York Times for 30 years, 40 years. But if we read even a verse or a page of Srimad Bhagavatam, so much knowledge is available to us, not only on the realities of transcendence, but even on the realities of life in this material world. And so we come to text 3. Nidraya hriyate naktam vyavayena shavavayaha diva chartehaya rajan kutumba paranenava. The lifetime of such an envious householder, griheshu grihamedinam, is passed at night either in sleeping or in sex indulgence, and in the daytime either in making money or maintaining family members. There you have the modern civilization in capsule form. The daytime, at night, these two engagements, nidrayas, sleeping, or if possible, vyavayena, by sex indulgence. That's night. Night is for sex, and if there's no opportunity for sex, then you might as well go to sleep. These two things, sleeping and sex. And that's like 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, not 8 hours or 10 hours of sex, but sleeping especially. Vayaha. Vayaha means the duration of one's life. So there's only so much time, and that time is being used up at night by sex or by sleeping. And Prahlad Maharaj also analyzes in this way. We'll come to that perhaps, how the time of our life is being wasted. He says that the beginning of our life is spent playing, then we go to school a little bit and spend our time in school, then young boys and young girls are after one another, then marriage, family life, maintaining the family, then old age, rocking. I remember the old days back in 1902. And where's the opportunity for self-realization? By the way, Madan Gopal, you want to really, I think, want to look at what's going on with the screen and what takes up the screen? I don't know what you're seeing.
I am seeing you, Maharaj, and I believe everyone else is seeing you on their main screens.
Okay.
Are you seeing something else?
Yes, but that's okay now, I guess. I was seeing Gurudas.
Oh, that's unusual. Let me see if I'll just change the spotlight here.
Okay.
I should be on you.
Yeah, now you're good.
But if I cancel the spotlight, is it back to Gurudas again?
No, it's back to you.
That's very weird. Okay.
Just the last couple sessions, we've been seeing that.
Yeah, I think this it's a little bit buggy. All right, I'll just leave the spotlight on.
Okay. Then
That's just saying, forgive my offenses.
it's okay. Just try to regain my train of thought here. Yeah, so in this way, the whole life is lost. Shankaracharya also has a verse like that all the young boys, all the children are playing, the young boys are after young girls, the old men are rocking. No one has any time for spiritual enlightenment. So at night, sex life, sleeping, and diva charte haya rajan kutumba badanenava. And during the day, Prabhupada commenting on this verse said, where's money, where's money, where's money, where's money? In this way, we're using our daytime. Where's money? Get up and where's money, where's money, where's money, where's money? Or kutumba paranena, spending the money. either making money or spending money to maintain family affairs. And these days it's become everybody has to work, the husband has to work, the wife has to work, everyone has to work because the expenditures are outdistance our income. Where is money? Where is money? Where is money? Where is money? So in that way, our time is lost. All right, let's see what Prabhupada says here. Present human civilization is primarily based on the principles of sleeping and sex indulgence at night and earning money in the day and spending for family maintenance. Such a form of human civilization is condemned in the Bhagavad school. So the human life is meant for Atma Tattva, but the materialists, unaware of this, are more inclined to economic development for material enjoyment. So they're the karmis. Higher than the karmis are the gyanis, the yogis, the devotees, who are strictly prohibited from sex indulgence. This sex indulgence, the theme will be developed in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, is the focal point of material life. The whole business, at night, sex life, if possible, and during the day, family maintenance, which means the extensions of sex life. The wife, home, children, all extended from sex life. So the more sex life increases, the more all of those things increase. But human life is not meant for focusing on sex life, which the modern civilization makes as like a preoccupation, all about sex in different forms, reading about it, films about it, clubs for it, so many things aimed at dating sites, there's that, all aimed at sex enjoyment. So the human life is meant to make a solution to the problem of life and its miseries. That's Prabhupada's point, not trying to improve the state of materialistic life. And Prabhupada says the materialistic way of life is described herein in a nutshell, and how foolishly men waste the boon of human life is described as follows. Now, I think I saw some things in the chat box. Yes, I did. Kendra says, I've heard that His Holiness B.B. Govinda Maharaj I've heard him relate how he quoted this verse to his mother. He said to her, see, Mom, Sukadeva Goswami knows all about people like you. To which she replied, it's not true. Young Ayodhyapati Prabhu at the time, Govinda Maharaj's former name, said, oh, come off it, Mom. She then thought for a moment and said, well, I suppose Mr. Goswami does know a few things about people like us. Yes, exactly. Bhattu Gopal asks, at least in the beginning, our process is to dovetail everything in Krishna's service. How does the modern day journalist dovetail working for some newspaper, as we don't much support the newspaper? Well, like most jobs, you can dovetail it by giving money. It's not that journalism is such a glorious occupation. Earn your money and then give charity. Yes, give charity. What is that? Yagyadana tapastraiva pavanani manishinam. Even for those who are advanced in knowledge, yagya and charity and austerity are purifying. And especially for the householders, charity is recommended. We've discussed this many times. So that's one way that the journalist can serve. Write whatever your editors want you to write, but give money for the service of Krishna. What is it? Somebody said that a man's heart follows his money, something like that. The man's heart is where a man's treasure is. That's it. A man's heart is where his treasure lies. So if you spend from your treasury for Krishna, then your heart follows. Heart will follow where the treasury, and one becomes Krishna conscious. Otherwise, of course, the journalist can seek to write something that's uplifting, write something about spiritual topics, either during your working hours, write something, try to get some news in there from a spiritual perspective, or just take your skills and write something, write for Back to Godhead, write something to spread Krishna consciousness. That these skills can be very valuable for the service of Krishna. The newspaper itself is useless, but the same skills used for Krishna can be very valuable. This seems largely theoretical because I don't know of any journalism students in our congregations here, but anyway, it is there are useful skills there when those skills are used for Krishna. Surendra says, we discussed quite a lot of things 2 days ago, sports, slaughterhouses, heaven, etc. But at the end you said, love the Supreme Personality of Godhead and chant the name of the Lord. Then as I was at peace, so simple. My second question is books you have discussed 2 days ago. At what point and what kind of books should I control reading? I'm strictly talking about devotional books within Gaudiya Sampradaya. What about books related to devotees, like their testimonials? Sripad Ramanujacharya, Sripad Madhvacharya, or other Vaishnav saints. Testimonials, do you mean biographies about them? Of course, Prabhupada was quite strong in focusing us on reading his books. He would complain that you want to read so many books, but you haven't read these books. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing is that we may read other books within the devotional Gaudiya Sampradaya. That also we need to be careful about. Who are the authors? What is their perspective? Is it in line with our understanding? What are we getting here? We don't want to be, you take up a course of study, say at Yale, then there's a specific syllabus of books and so on. And if you say, well, over here they're reading this, over there they're reading that, that doesn't help. We have to focus on the textbook prescribed for us. Or if you're at medical school, if you're following a specific text, it's not that it helps really to start looking at this text, looking at that text. Now, sometimes we may have some purpose for consulting some other texts, either in the Gaudiya Sampradaya or elsewhere. There should be some purpose. How is this going to improve my devotional progress and devotional service? That also, the spiritual master can direct one. The senior devotees can give their advice. Is that all right?
Yes, okay. Thank you.
His Grace C.C. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu says, nicely reg discussion. It helps if you write things out, Samarpan Gopal. I can't expand nicely reg discussion. I don't know what reg means. Helps to write it out. I can't interpret. Yes, regarding. Okay. I didn't know if that's regulative. It says, regarding discussion, first you give what is in your heart to Krishna, artire, diya, vacha, etc., to eventually give the heart. What you give is, you give what's in your heart to Krishna to eventually give the heart itself. Pranayar, yeah. Can you repeat the nice quote about treasure? I don't know, just give me a paraphrase of something I heard within the last few days, that your heart follows your treasure. Your heart will go where your treasure is. So as far as what the actual quote is, I don't know, someone would have to maybe do an internet search or something like that. Okay, let's see. Okay, and that puts us up to date with the chat box. Yeah, etavad janma sapalyam dehinam ihate shuru. Pranayartardiya vacha shreya acharanam sada. It's the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, intelligence, and words. Which reminded me, I was thinking earlier today, because we talked a lot about charity. I was thinking about charitable causes. One charity that came to my mind is the Mayapur Institute for Higher Education, where they don't have much money, but they're doing a very, oh, look at that, Matthew. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. New Testament, Matthew 6:21. Thank you, Panchatattva Prabhu. So Mayapur Institute for Higher Education, they're running the most important service, educating the devotees in the science of Krishna, and they really don't have much of an income. Such a valuable program. So there's so many underfunded programs like that. The Oxford Center for Hindu Studies, where devotees are in particular have the opportunity to advance in graduate studies, is tremendously underfunded. So these are just two examples of important programs that are underfunded. I'm sure Madan Gopal's thinking of Persipini, which is also underfunded. So, as Prabhupada said, charity begins at home. Harvard University, I might add, doesn't do anything to feed the poor. It has one of the largest endowments in the world, and it doesn't, people regularly give it large sums of money, and it doesn't feed any starving kids. It doesn't provide midday meals for anyone. And yet no one thinks, oh, Harvard, what are they doing? They're not doing anything for society. So I would offer that ISKCON in particular is meant for providing education, cultural and spiritual, and yes, education, training and real knowledge. And therefore it deserves to be funded far more than Harvard University.
Yeah, Harvard is more than $1 billion.
More than $1 billion under management. Huh? So when we've got those kind of resources, then maybe we should start thinking about keeping hungry kids in school or something. But if we have those resources, we'll be very well educated in Krishna consciousness, and we'll probably forget about keeping hungry kids in school. Rather, we'll start our own school for the hungry kids where they'll get transcendental knowledge, and that solves their hunger problem automatically. If they stay in that school, it's very good. Otherwise, staying in the mundane school is of no use and arguably against their best interests. Okay. Deha Patya Kalatradish Vatma Sanyeshva Satsvapi Tesham Pramatto Nidhanam Pashanapi Napashyati. This was a verse Prabhupada spoke on quite a number of times and quotes several times. Deha apatya kalatra adishu. Deha means this body, apatya is children, kalatra is wife, and adishu means and in everything in relationship to them. Or Prabhupada also explained it this way, kalatra adishu, starting with the wife. From the wife, then the children, the home, and Janasya Mohoya, Mahamameti, bodily identification, starting from this point of Pumsastriya Maituni, the sexual relationship between husband and wife. So, Deha, Apatya, Kalatra, Adishu, Atmasanyeshu. One thinks, these are my soldiers. I'm protected on the national level by my army and on the local level by my government, by, I can call 911, there's doctors, and then on the home front, there's my wife, there's my children, there are my relatives. So as long as there's my insurance, so I'm protected. But asatsuapi, they're all fallible. Asatsu, Prabhupada translates as fallible. Asat means temporary. Asat means also not real. Sometimes we find that my beloved wife, my beloved children, if my beloved money disappears, so do the family members. Asatsu. But fallible. They're also under the grip of death. Then how will they save me? They can't even save themselves. But tesham pramatta nidhanam. One is too attached to them and therefore goes to destruction. Pramatta also means mad. Matta means crazy, mad, and pramatta, exceedingly crazy. So Pashanapi, although he's seen it, he sees how much trouble there is. He sees that everyone dies. He sees that no one can protect anyone finally. He sees that nothing can be held on to forever. But Pashanapi na pashyati. Although he sees it, he doesn't see it. Why? Pramatta. Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma yadindriya pritya apranoti. Maddened by material attachment, maddened by passion of sex life, maddened by identification with this body. With all this madness, even though one should be able to see, he still can't see. Apashyatam atma tattva, because he's not seeing the most important thing. He's not seeing who he is. He's not seeing what the purpose of life is. And therefore he's missing the essentials. He's missing the essentials. And he's seeing superficially. He's seeing, but he's not seeing. Now, this is the world of death. Every living being from Brahma down to the germs who live for a few seconds only, is struggling for existence. Therefore, this life is a sort of fight with material nature, which imposes death upon all. In human life, a living being can come to an understanding of this great struggle, but being too attached to family members, society, country, etc., he wants to win over the invincible nature by the aid of bodily strength, children, wife, relatives. It's in bodily strength. We see people who are working out and practicing martial arts, and what will it? Death. They're so for keeping their health, but they're going to die. Or they're so concerned about keeping their beauty. That's the theme in drugstores these days, health and beauty, right? That's the category if you go on Amazon, health and beauty. So huge amounts spent on beauty, huge amounts spent on health for a body that's going to die. And being preoccupied with health and beauty, one becomes blind and doesn't see that, what am I trying to sustain here? Even in old age, the fight intensifies. Health starts to decline, so we put more, we invest more in health, these vitamins, these medicines, this therapy, this regime. And for beauty, this cream, this whatever, you know better than I know. Painting. For a body that's falling apart, deteriorating. But we don't see it because we don't want to see it. We want to see that, yes, we can prevail. But we dwindle and we die. And we don't try to solve that problem. No one will survive in the struggle with material nature. The history of human society proves it. Yet the foolish people still suggest that in the future they will be able to live perpetually with the help of material science. I stumbled across yesterday, didn't spend time with it, but some site wanted to lead me to what the particulars are. New Scientist, that was the publication. New Scientist, I was looking at something concerning consciousness, and they wanted to tease me with an article about the details of how bodies that are being frozen are frozen. You have to get there right away and arrest everything before deterioration sets in, so that you'll have the best possible chance of reviving the body when science comes up with the cure for whatever killed you. And there are people, there's a whole tribe of people out there frozen someplace in California, waiting to be resurrected. And in this way, pramata, foolish, not understanding what the problem is or how to solve it. The great ocean of material nature is tossing with the waves of time, and the so-called living conditions are like foaming bubbles, which appear before us as bodily self, wife, children, society, countrymen. Through a lack of knowledge of self, we become so victimized by the force of ignorance, and thus spoil the valuable energy of human life in a vain search after permanent living conditions, impossible in this material world. There again, why the Vanaprastha ashram? Just to treat this disease of insane attachment to family life, in which these illusions develop. This is what my life is about. My children, my grandchildren, my this, my that, my home. And one conducts one's affairs as if this is just going to go on and on. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. Therefore, the training is there that to retire from family life, to give up the struggle, to prevail in this material world, to remain permanently protected by fallible soldiers. Our friends, relatives, and so-called wives and children are not only fallible, but also bewildered by the outward glamour of material existence. As such, they cannot save us. Still, we think we are safe within the orbit of family, society, or country. This is Maya. The whole materialistic advancement of human civilization is like the decoration of a dead body. Everyone is a dead body flapping only for a few days. And yet all the energy of human life is wasted in the decoration of this dead body. Shukadeva Goswami is pointing out the duty of the human being after showing the actual position of bewildered human activities. Persons devoid of the knowledge of Atma Tattva are misguided, but devotees of the Lord, those who are devotees of the Lord and have perfect realization of transcendental knowledge, are not bewildered. This is also, notice that this is how what Srila Prabhupada is presenting as we begin Srimad Bhagavatam. Although the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, one might say, is the relishable pastimes of Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan with his eternal associates, the instruction starts here, not with all the details of rasa and bhav, but with understanding how foolish we are to be materially attached. Family, home, wife, children. These are not just compulsory recitations of dogma. This is essential knowledge for the human being, and especially for the human being who's attached to family life. Every human being, but especially those who are stuck in family life, or stuck or not stuck, they're in family life. At some point, they will need to know how to get out. Everyone can figure out how to get into family life, but it's like the Chakravyuha. Arjuna's son knew how to get in, but he didn't know how to get out. Abhimanyu. He knew how to get into it, but he didn't know how to get out. Therefore, killed. So one needs to hear. He'd heard the instruction how to break into the Chakravyuha, but he hadn't heard the instruction how to get out. So we have lots of people to instruct us how to get into materialistic life, how to make a success of business and family affairs and so many necessities of day-to-day life. But we're lacking the instruction of how to get out. And therefore we die in the Chakravyuha. We become like the silkworm, which Prabhupada says makes such a nice cocoon that the silk merchant comes and throws him in boiling water, and the silkworm can't get out. Therefore, we have that expression, trapped in his own cocoon. So it's essential for those who want to succeed in human life, those who want to get free from this cycle of birth and death, to know how to get out of material existence. And for that, the chanting will help us, the hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam will help us, the guidance of the spiritual master and the devotees will help us. The entire process of devotional service will be finally Achyuta, Krishna, the infallible. We're depending on the fallible soldiers, the wife, home, children. But finally, what is rescued by the infallible? Achyuta, the person who never falls, the person who's, Prabhupada said infallible, but also infallible. Okay, any questions?
Maharaj, I had just a comment on of appreciation on how Srila Prabhupada's choice of wording is so beautiful, poetic, and dramatic. I mean, look at this last paragraph. The whole materialistic advancement of civilization is like a decoration of dead body. Everyone is a dead body flapping, flapping only for a few days. You know, immediately you can picture like we're just like a limp flag just flapping with the wind for a few days, and that's the end of our life. It's utterly insignificant if we don't use it for the right purpose. So I just found that quite striking. Yeah.
Or Prabhupada uses that same word when he's talking about Mrigari the hunter, how he would half kill the animals and the animals would be flapping.
Yeah.
So we're like that. We're like, if you see some animal that's been wounded and it's just flapping its wings or its arms or whatever it has. Yeah. So we're like that. We're somehow or other trying to, no.
And this the verse itself, Pashyan apina pashyati, it's we're deceiving ourselves in all this makeup that we put on, you know, and we have layers of it too, you know, to make sure that when we look in the mirror, then we think, oh yeah, actually don't look so bad, I look pretty nice, you know. And we read in the Bhagavatam that self-deceit is what's the foundation of the universe, not the earth or water or any of those. Self-deceit is like the foundational principle upon which the universe is created. So it's our foundation. And so even the first layer of makeup is also called foundation.
Foundation, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the foundation of our self-deceit. And I think it's we're seeing, but we don't see it. We want to deny it, and we know that this is not me, and yet we want to deceive ourselves. That's me. So it's our it's the irony of our conditional existence. It's very beautifully put here.
And we have our narrative of somehow or other how things will go on. But asatsvapi. And not only that everyone dies, but people die just like that, all of a sudden. Sometimes in old age, sometimes in youth.
Yeah.
But we're carrying on as if we're just going to be here. We're just going to be here. Things will go on. And so we carry on with our home improvement, family life, Santi Sahasrasaha, hearing thousands of useless topics, read the newspaper, do crossword puzzles, go fishing, go to Disneyland, go here, go there. So many ways to waste our human life. At night, sex, sleeping, and during the day, Where's money? Where's money? Where's money? Where's money?
Earning and spending. Yeah.
And spending. In this way, the whole life is lost. Those in the mode of ignorance, they look forward to sleeping more and more and more. And you add to it intoxication.
Distraction.
Already I'm blind, but now I'm already crazy. But then I drink something or snort something or inject something or smoke something so that I become more crazy.
Yeah.
I'm already covered and I cover myself more. And deliberately.
Yeah.
Janiya Shunya Vishakoinu. I know, I see, I hear. This is how it is. But still I go on drinking poison and thinking, oh, yes.
5 days like a donkey and 2 days like a monkey. You know? Every week.
Yes.
I think Musfikar has a question for some time on the chat box. How do we view what is going on in today's society with protests going on? Part of me wants to not look at the news because it just shows miseries of the material world, but also want to take part to show how we should treat everyone.
How do we view what is going on in today's society with protests going on? Part of me wants not to look at the news because it just shows miseries of the material world, but also want to take part to show just how we should treat everyone. For that, of course, they're wasting their time. They're going to hold protest meetings. And this is old stuff, by the way. I wrote an article about this if you look on my website, I think it's there. I wrote an article about, there was one Rodney somebody or other who was drunk and speeding and black, and the cops went after him and I guess beat him up. And then there were riots in Los Angeles and they were burning cars, the same stuff. And Rodney King, thank you very much. So you can, if you like, you can go to my website and review that article. It's the same tired business. It's not that the problem went away because they burned down a whole batch of buildings and looted stores and so on in Los Angeles 20 years ago or whatever it was. The same thing is still going on. And if you come back 20 years from now or 200 years from now, you'll find the same thing. So our business is to get to the root of the problem. Superficially, they're trying to stop the problem by protests, by campaigns, by legislation, by proper legal action. Not going to solve the problem. The same thing will be going on. And joining hands with the protesters is not going to stop it. But if we get to the root of the thing, when one comes to the spiritual platform, then there's equality. Then there's proper everything. As long as we remain on the material platform, these things will go on. Or from another point of view, as long as we remain in the material world, these things will go on. Really, the only way to get free from injustice, strife, oppression, is to get out of the material world altogether, because that's endemic in this world. Anityam sukham lokam. It's an unhappy place. There's a saying, you can't make a silk purse of a sow's ear. You can't turn the material world into sukhalia. It's just not what it is. So if people really want to go back to Godhead, where everyone is treated perfectly, where everyone's happy, where everyone's in their natural position. In this material world, due to karma also, it's not just that the guy was an innocent guy and some cop went out of control. According to my past karma, the cop had to strangle me, what's the word, suffocate me. If it wasn't this cop, it would be another cop. If it wasn't a cop, it would be something else. But I have the results of my karma to suffer because of being in this material world and trying to exploit the resources of the material energy. So the final solution, the temporary, to spread Krishna consciousness so that things will be as good as possible, so that people will be enlightened, people will be purified. And the final solution is to get out of this world altogether. Panchatattva Prabhu has a comment. Yeah, the link for my article is there, Swami info/smog. After the protest, retiring to McDonald's, to sex and sleep and the rest of material life, both sides. Yeah, protesters. In fact, I saw some, it was funny, I was in Athens one time, and there was this poster in Greek, I couldn't read it, but it was obviously a revolutionary poster. And there was a guy with, like, if I remember, he had like an automatic rifle or something. And there was a young revolutionary girl along with him. And there were like two themes in the poster. One was revolution, and the other was sex. You know, what better situation to be in than overthrowing the government and having a good sex partner to do it with you? It's like ideal. So both sides agree on this. Well noted, Panchatattva Prabhu. Both sides agree. One's the Republicans and the Democrats. They both want where is sex, where is money, and sleeping and spending, family attachment. The Democrats agree, the Republicans agree, the whites agree, the blacks agree, the revolutionaries agree, the establishment agrees. Everybody agrees that the goal of life is sense gratification. But Sukadeva Goswami disagrees, and he's right. We're at the end of our time. Whoops, one comment here. As you have mentioned, we hear a lot of lectures, but why one does not able to fully surrender to Lord? Mind creates so many fears because of that, sometimes difficult to follow four regulative principles. Can you please suggest practical ways to control the mind, bring it back to Krishna and devotional? Chant Hare Krishna and associate with devotees, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, worship the deity. These are some of the methods. Chant Hare Krishna seriously and act with determination. We should be very serious that let me follow these principles in the association of devotees. Association, Prabhupada one time said that practically all the progress you've made is by association. So we should associate with devotees who are serious, hear this message regularly, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, chant Hare Krishna, see the form of the Lord, serve Krishna, and Krishna will help us. Okay. And again, I guess for those who joined late, you might want to take a look at www.mantrabreak.com, which is designed to be a resource that you can point anyone to, any friend, any ordinary person, where there's only one purpose of the site, to give people the chance to tune in and hear the Hare Krishna mantra chanted in a, you can say, mellow and soothing way, so that people don't have to do anything else. They can just get some relief by hearing the Maha Mantra, devotees, non-devotees, everyone. And if you have any suggestions for improving it, you can write to me. That's what that is. Especially intended for the outsiders, those who are not in our Sangha. But also, you may also find it nice to listen to. Okay, thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Also, for those who are interested, I put in a link to Maharaj's website, which and that link takes you straight to that particular article that we mentioned about Rodney King. But also, there's many other wonderful, insightful articles that you can avail yourself, and I think you'll find quite interesting to read. So, you can save that link. It's a pretty simple link. It's just jswami.info. Pretty easy to find. So thank you again, Maharaj, for a wonderful discussion this evening. Very much appreciated. And we look forward to next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as we go through the rest of the second canto. So I invite all the devotees to please keep attending on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the same time on the same channel. This weekend, we have some amazing speakers also. I'm just going to share our poster. So tomorrow morning, Saturday, June 6th, we have His Holiness Satswarup Das Goswami Maharaj, who will be speaking on the topic of remembering Srila Prabhupada. So tomorrow at 11 a.m., don't miss that. He has done one session already a month and a half ago, and it was very well received, and devotees really appreciated the lighthearted topic. And this particular topic will be very nectarian, of course. And then tomorrow evening, His Grace Chaturatma Prabhu, very jolly, jovial, and lively presenter of Krishna consciousness. And tomorrow he'll be focusing on one of our acharyas, life and teachings of Shyamananda Prabhu. So tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. And then on Sunday evening at 6 p.m., Adi Gadadhar Prabhu comes on once again to talk about Jagadananda Pandit, how he juggles love and etiquette, some transcendental pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So do join tomorrow. Please feel free to share this with others, and keep coming. And now I'd like to request His Grace Nilmani Prabhu, our President, to offer a final word of thanks. Go ahead, Nilmani Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you. I'm not able to see anybody. Okay, that's it. Yes, thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you again for a wonderful dose of Krishna consciousness on a Friday evening. The second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you to all of our regular attendees and everyone joining us this evening for association with Maharaj and wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam class. As Madan Gopal said, please keep joining us every day and take advantage of this Krishna Katha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I see Jai Shri Mataji is here, obeisances. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Jaya.
Always enlightening.
Thank you, your kindness.
Oh, my good fortune.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Jai Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Dandavad.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Lakshmana, Hare Krishna.
Haribol Lakshmana.
I miss you. I miss you.
Thank you.
Kendra, Hare Krishna.
Hey, Kendra, Haribol.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your
Thank you.
Maharaj for the class.
Hare Krishna
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Hare
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I'm so sorry I joined so late today. Hare Krishna. Last 15 minutes, I'm so sorry.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj Dandavad. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.